I'm going to record my intro a couple times. Hey guys, welcome to Faz Radio. We have some good stuff today. I don't see any picture here. Hey, Faz Radio, Faz, bacon and Faz, baked beans and Faz.
Well, hi, but I still can't hear you.
I know.
Okay, there we go. I can hear you now.
So, by the way, there's a new airdrop for XRP holders.
A third one now?
New one. Apparently there's this Italian NFT company that's going to be putting NFTs on the XRP blockchain. And they want to get in their good graces with the XRP army.
Wow.
So it might be getting to the point where the XRP army gets all the cool airdrops.
Sounds like it. That's, I think, 3 that I know of so far.
So what's that? It's on Crypto Area just announced it. It's some XRP ledger NFT thing.
Well, I keep XRP on Ledger, so it should automatically show up then, huh?
Ba-dum-bum. Bada boom, bada bing.
I don't know why everybody's losing their minds over this infrastructure bill legislation.
Because apparently it has vague language as to what a broker is.
So what? How does that affect us?
It'll affect the companies that are building out in the crypto arena. It basically turns miners into brokers. Now, that might affect you if you mine crypto. I don't know. Say if you mine Gala with a node. Oh my God, you're a broker. There you go. Now it affects you.
That's never going to fly. It first of all, that won't fly. Second of all,
before or after they voted into law?
Gala won't get off their butts to get KYC implemented for turning the nodes into NFTs. So why would they get off their butt and do it because people have nodes?
The reason that Gala wants to turn those nodes into NFTs is so that they can remove all doubt about who the owner is. If they don't do that, then a case can be made that they own all these nodes.
Well, they'll do it. My point being, they'll do it if they have to, but not because they want to.
Well, since the point was that, so you're basically saying, at first Gala wanted to, but then they didn't do it, and now they'll only do what they wanted when they have to. Got it.
Well, no. So what I'm saying is the priority obviously isn't the community. The priority is the law. So if they're forced to do it, they'll figure out a way to do it. But if they don't have to, they're not going to.
I don't get that from their plans. Again, this is like you saying, I'm going to make a plan to sell ice cream cones, and then somebody else coming along and saying, well, you haven't sold ice cream cones, and it's obvious yet, and it's obvious that you'll only sell ice cream cones if the law tells you to do it, or if they ban, or if they penalize you for not doing it, or whatever. How about it's just their plan to do it all along, and maybe they're waiting on clarity before they do it so they could do it right. That's it.
Right. So you'll be happy to know that I've spent some time inadvertently by bumping into it with other threads. Like with the research I was doing last night, they're starting to make some progress with the communication that I talked about last week wasn't happening. I did notice that they brought in that Jane person, and it looks like the intentions are to start opening things up a little bit. So as I had mentioned before, I would not be keeping them on my radar until I saw action being taken on these things that the community wants. I see a little bit of action starting to take place, so I feel a little bit better this week.
I think it really comes down to communication. And like I told you, I've worked for 3 different startups. And what happens is so much stuff has to be done. There's so much work and so little time. And then somebody at some point goes, have you told the community about what we're doing? Because the community is throwing a shit fit. And they go, okay, and then they tell the community something. And then what seems like 5 minutes later, the community is having a shit fit again. And then they go, have you told the community? And, it just goes round and around. And what you're really demanding is a lot clearer, consistent, reliable communication.
God, you drive me nuts. Don't put words in my mouth. No, that's not what I'm really trying to say. What I'm
That's
trying
what
to
I
say is that it's
think
part.
you're really trying to
It's
say.
okay, that's better. It's part of it. The communication is definitely part of it. The other part of it is it's not just you and I that have told them repeatedly, you need to fix your node map, you need to do this, you need to do this. It is 20 other people repeating themselves 50,000 times, and they go, yeah, 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 and then nothing happens. The frustration levels of not only people like me, but all the others as well. It's like, okay, put something out and say, hey, just like this Jane is doing. That's why I'm saying progress. She's got a Trello list, and she's added a lot of these concerns, and she put a flow chart on it, working, done, not possible, all this stuff here. That is the communication part of it. Hey, all right, I see that these things, these big things that we've brought up are on somebody's list. That's at least progress. So that's been communicated. Number two, we can see plain as day, okay, it is in their queue. They're going to do something about it. Let's see where it moves, to what pile it moves to next. That's great. But we're not trying, all of us that keep mentioning these things, we're not trying to create problems, hassles, confusion, or anything else. We're trying to help them so that all of us can benefit from it, not only Gala Games, but the people who are part of the community can benefit from it. So that is what rubs me the wrong way, not the fact that there's no communication. That's not it. It's okay, at least try, take action. If you can't do something because it's not legal or not able to be done, that's fine. Give me an explanation as to why, and we'll move on to the next thing. But when
you notice that we're not talking about the fact that they have to do something, or the law will fine them or something. We're talking about communication, and that's the whole point that I'm making. Whether I put words in your mouth or not, we're both agreeing on communication here.
That's part of it, but communicating things and taking action on the things that we communicate as a group to them, not just one person who says, I want free Voxes. All right, that's completely different. So the communication where you have to have, I think Jane will be good at this if she is anything like Carrie. She'll look at that and see the trends and see what multiple people, when they're all saying the same things, and go, hey, yeah, this is something I think we want to address. So the communication, not just one way from them to us, is what I'm saying. It's listening to that, and it's trying to figure out how we're all going to get there together.
Right. Well, remember what I've told you about most companies, 99.99% of them, before Gala and even right now, they don't give you any communication. They're very careful about what they put across, because every communication is a promise. If somebody says something like, yeah, we're going to put that in the game, you can take them to task. We can even take them to court by saying, well, they kept telling us on Discord this. So just be aware that when something isn't being communicated to you, it's not always because of stupidity or blunder. It's strategy. It's, well, we don't have a clear communication on this. I mean, I've been behind the scenes on this, and I have a feeling you have too, where if we don't have a clear communication on this, let's not weigh in on this right now. Meanwhile, all the people on Discord are banging down the walls, banging down the doors. Tell us something, give us something to go on, give us something to go on. And it's like, guys, we'll get you something. Don't worry. And the part that gets me when everybody starts banging down the doors on Discord is nobody here is an investor. Sorry, this is like Star Wars action figures again. Nobody's banging down Hasbro's doors to demand that the action figures be a certain way. Now, the good news is Gala wants to engage, and it will be in their best benefit to say something. But what they're going to say is something vague and something, they've said it multiple times. They've said, we can't say anything on this due to contracts. We can't say anything about this because we don't want to get sued. We can't say anything about this because we're not ready. We can't say anything because we haven't decided, and so on. All those things can apply here, especially with the nodes. So trust me, we'll get there. But I see no way to come to a conclusion that they're not going to do the NFTs all of a sudden, the NFT, the nodes, because the only way they do it is if the law forced them to. No, that was their idea to begin with. So they're going to do it when they get to it. And their reason for given, which is more clarity, makes a lot of sense. And that could be, it could take 3 years then. If clarity takes 3 years, it's going to be 3 years. The whole time you're going to be insisting up and down, oh my God, see that I told you why they won't do it. I told you why they won't do it today. Well, you'll be right until you're wrong. I mean, if that's the case.
Well, again, then they need to stop marketing as that. They're continuing to market it as you're going to be able to own that. And if that's their plan, and
they market a date, they're not wrong. They can market it all they want until they don't do it.
Well,
see what I mean? I mean,
but that's still deceptive. That's still deceptive. And you mentioned things. This is another one that we've argued about. You've mentioned, 100 times we're not investors. Okay. We've beat that one into the ground. We understand we are not shareholders in Gala. The perception, though, and the reality of it is that if they don't keep the community happy, they don't have enough people to buy their stuff at this point. So they're relying on this community to spend the ETH and spend the Gala on their Voxes, on their NFTs, on their avatars. So they've got to get that balance, at least at this point. They've got to keep the balance of the people happy. Otherwise, nobody's going to be buying their stuff. So while we're not investors, they need that community to stay happy.
So you just said what I said, but in different words. Sure. Yes, I totally agree. It will be in their best interest, like I said, for them to continue to engage. And it's a hard road to take. I'm sure they're going to make a number of blunders and missteps. And what's funny is each time they do, they tell you, oops, we didn't mean to do that. Oops, we didn't mean to do that. And then people are like, get your act together, get your shit together. It's like, shit happens. You wouldn't know about this previously.
Well, that whole Shooty Booms mess, there's a lot of people not happy. I can tell by the marketing that they're doing. Up until about 3 weeks ago, I never got an email, a marketing email from them pushing things.
I'd like to see that. I wish you could pull up that form again, because that form that voting form that you filled out, I recall what it said on that form when I filled it in, because it was the first thing I noted, which was it will influence us. It didn't say that they were going to pick that name. It said that they were going to consider that name. And it sounds like, and I haven't heard any bit of this Shooty Boom stuff other than from you, is when I filled that out, I realized that they may not take the names. And whatever they communicated, that goes along with what they said on the form. Now, if they said something else different over Discord, kind of sucks to be them. They're just going to get an earful of it. But, it is what it is. It's a misstep then. And if that's the case, then, they'll probably try and make it up somehow. Or at least I'd hope they would. Their people aren't going to go away. They've got a lot of people now.
Well, it's the engagement thing. It was never willfully mismarketed. It was always help us choose a name.
If people are going to dump Gala because of this name, then
but that's the point I'm trying to make. The part where they intentionally do stuff, they did not make it clear that, hey, you're only voting to influence us. They didn't do that. They give you the impression that the community is giving the name to it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what their disclaimer in the top little sentence says, the impression was we were going to choose the name of that game. That's their intentional misleading part. And that's what makes people mad.
I agree.
All right. And so that those intentional things that they're pushing that marketing envelope on needs to change. If they expect us to take our tokens and purchase their things and be involved in this community, they can't intentionally mislead people to try and get more engagement. People are starting to get really tired of it. And that is a common theme that you can see in any of the gala rooms. And they just do the same. Oh, wait, yeah, we're sorry. Whoops. Okay. And it folds right back into what I talked about before. How long do you accept that? The community is not going to continue to accept the oops, we screwed up. We're so small. We're learning as we go. It's not going to last.
Right. So I understand that this is raising your blood pressure, but I'm sure they'll figure it out.